welcome to a new episode of Hallmark Heartbeats, a podcast all about Hallmark movies. I'm your host, Camille, and today I am joined by my good friend, Callie Younger. She writes for the blog Hallmarks the Spot. Really funny. Very, very funny.
Thank you.
She cracks me up every time I read it, and most of the time I agree with her.
That's good.
But I do want to know, like, what made you want to start that blog kind of thing?
So, my family and we are always just texting each other about the Hallmark movies. We're going, did you see this? And, I always have some kind of like smart aleck comment for everything. So I was like, I'm just going to write about these. I'm watching them all and I'm finding them amusing, and my siblings and my husband were like, you should just, do a recap because we're tired of you just texting us, first of all, like, make other people listen to your nonsense. So, so it just, I started doing it a couple years ago and I've just had a lot of fun, being stupid and making myself laugh. So
this week is gonna be an emotional week for both of us. And
yes.
Why in the second movie? But let's lighten it up a little bit before we get all emotional.
Okay. Good.
The first movie we're gonna be talking about is Gingerbread Miracle, and it stars Jon Ecker, who is a hottie. Like,
yes.
Where has he been?
I know. He was great.
The whole time in the movie, watching the movie, I was like, where has this guy been hiding? How come has never gotten him?
Yes, seriously, our lives will never be the same.
I know.
Oh.
And I Googled him because.
Oh, really?
How old is he? Because I was thinking to myself, like, he's cute, but he may be too young for me. So I
really?
I got wondering.
Oh my gosh. Oh, really?
Yes. And I was like, he's older than me.
Wow, he looks good. I thought he was a lot younger.
Same here. I thought he was like in his late 20s, early 20s or whatever. So I was like, oh, he looks good.
So we need to see him at Hallmark. We need his skincare routine. We need, all of that.
we just need someone to make GIFs of all of his facial reactions.
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, it's so hilarious because he just drops little lines here and there where I'm like, love you.
Yeah, you have to really be like listening with everything he's saying because he does have these funny little like mannerisms or reactions to things. And he was really fun to watch.
The beats. They have the comedic beats for these actors are just awesome. It's just perfect. Yeah. Anyway, it also stars Merritt Patterson. She's in several Hallmark movies. She's done one of my favorites, which is Christmas Cottage, which surprisingly also stars the other movie's co-star, Stephen Lund. But I'm a huge Merritt fan. Are you a Merritt fan?
I like her. I didn't love Chateau Christmas, but the one she was in the year before I really liked. Was it called Picture of Perfect Christmas? Yeah. So I liked her in that one. She's someone that even if I don't love the movie, I kind of root for her. So she
always plays royals, like the royal kind of thing. Like her and Lacey are pretty much back.
Yeah, you're right. They are both in those kind of movies.
Yep. So anyway, the other movie that I like with her is I don't remember what the movie is called, but I remember she was skating. She was acting on Brittany Bristow. And it was a royal movie, Christmas movie again. But she like played a professional figure skater who like helped out.
Okay. I feel like I've seen that one, but I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah. There are so many movies that falls on. But anyway, Merritt plays Maya Owens and Jon Ecker plays Alejandro Castillo. They're both lawyers. And I love that they his Spanishized, I guess. I don't know. Spanish name of Alejandro.
Yes.
But it get on my nerves that it became romanticized to Alex.
Yes.
Sometimes in the movies. I'm like, it's Alejandro and stuff. But anyway, they're both lawyers, and there is like a contracting lawyer, and Alejandro is a acquisitions lawyer in New York, and Maya was asked to help Alejandro's tío, which is his uncle, sell the family bakery, the Casillas Panaderia, which is a Mexican bakery. And see, my Spanish is
I was gonna say I had to turn on captions just so I could see how they were spelling this because I could not remember it.
And Alejandro comes back from New York to help also sell the bakery. And this panaderia is famous for their magical gingerbread cookies. So the lore is that if somebody makes you a gingerbread cookie, especially for you, you make a wish and the wish comes true. But I guess since Tio's wife passed away, the wishes stopped coming true. So now he's ready to sell the panaderia. So many. I love this movie. This movie was awesome. What did you?
I thought it was really fun to watch, and I thought there was a lot of really silly, Hallmark things in it, which made it really fun to watch. So yeah, and I loved the like the magic of it and the gingerbread component. I immediately the next day went and made gingerbread cookies.
The whole time during the movie, I was hungry for some gingerbread.
I know. I'm like, okay, it's time. I got to have one of these for myself. So,
do you make your own cookies? Yes, good.
Well, I haven't seen gingerbread cookies in the store yet, but yeah, I did make my own.
Oh my goodness. I don't even have a mixer.
Oh really?
Or a roller or anything like that.
Oh man. Yeah, it would be faster, that's for sure.
Yeah, but I told Hallmark that I'm gonna gain like 15 pounds.
Every time I see the Christmas spread, I'm like, I gotta go eat something Christmassy, or I've got to have hot chocolate, or I've got to put whipped cream in it, or whatever. Yeah, it's bad.
Gingerbread cookies.
Yeah.
But the thing that made this movie unique, I think, is just the calls to the Mexican culture.
Yeah.
And, which I have to say, Hallmark did great with. They did awesome with, like, respecting the culture, but they really sucked on one thing. The Las Posadas. Okay, what? Did they put that ad right when they were at the door? I mean, we had they had the Las Posadas is sort of reenacting Jesus, Mary and Joseph's for a room to the inn or whatever, and these people would go door to door looking for a place to stay, and everybody rejects them until like the last place, which is where the party's supposed to be, finally lets them in. But the scene where the procession goes to the bakery to ask to be let in or whatever, they cover it with the Next Stop Christmas act.
Oh, that's right. So I did not know anything about that tradition, and I thought that they said casadas, which would be like wedding, right? And I'm like, I can't have heard that right. But I liked learning about that whole tradition. That was something I didn't know about. Yeah.
Beautiful. I thought it was, this is something I never heard of.
Yeah.
It's something unique that it's unique to like Mexican culture.
Yeah.
It's not Hispanic culture or whatever. It's not Catholic, because I'm Catholic and I never did that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't ever. I don't know any other Catholic people that do that, so it does seem like it is a Mexican tradition. But it's really cool. It's like more intentional caroling, so that I really like that.
Yeah, but why did you cover up the captions? Like, we don't know what was being said, and it's like it kind of ruins the moment.
I know. I'm like, Hallmark, let us just watch the movie that we're watching. We're gonna watch the next one. I don't care what it's called. we're gonna be there.
I just watch these ads and why I'm right at that moment.
I know. And they're so big. It's ridiculous.
I was so angry. And then they had, what was his name? I mean, I'm glad that they finally listened to all of us complaining about the ding.
I know. That's right. It was like immediate. That's funny.
Let's just hope that, like, maybe I actually re-recorded this at a later airing. The second time it aired again, or whatever, to see if the ad would be gone the second time. But nope, another ad pops up at that exact moment. I'm sitting there going like, okay, do I have to re-record this again a third time
to hear it or to see it?
Like, I need to know what they said, and if you can't tell me what, it's just crazy. But one of our group members is Spanish speaking, so she kind of told us the gist of what they said, which was that the procession was asking for permission to enter. You know, he was saying that he's pregnant with Jesus, the Savior of the world, or whatever. And the Tio, the uncle, was like, yes, you can come in. We welcome the Savior, etc., etc. But it would have been nice to actually, you know, see the words. Live. Right. You know? But, and it, the other topic that they talked about, which really touched me also, was immigration. Like a lot of the pressures. Alejandro is, I guess, second generation or first?
I couldn't I think he's second generation, or he might be first. He's might be the first one's born there, so that would be first generation.
But he said on there that his passion is cooking. He's really good at cooking. I mean, he's a good looking man who can
he's
cook.
Really good at looking good while he cooks.
I know. The angry peace offering cookie making scene made me so hot. I was like, oh.
I was just mad that he threw away a bunch of perfectly good cookie dough in the garbage.
But he talked about, but instead of following his passion to be a chef or a baker like his uncle, he became a lawyer, and he talked about pressures as a first generation or second generation immigrant to kind of you know, be a lawyer or a doctor or whatever.
Yes, exactly.
Kind of be proud of you and make this, live this American dream, I guess, that all the immigrants come to the United States hoping for you.
Right. I thought that was really interesting too, because, and I wrote about this in my recap. I'm like, I obviously don't have that pressure, but I can see exactly what he's saying, this pressure of these are the types of jobs that the US values. And so I'm going to choose one of those, because Maya is like, why didn't you just become a baker? And it's like, she totally doesn't understand, because she lived in a house, like probably a lot of us, that was like, you can do whatever you want to be. You can study whatever you want in college. And, Alejandro and so many others don't have that privilege or don't have that opportunity. They have to pick something that can provide for their family, or, so.
The uncle said to Alejandro, when they were decorating the tree, don't let them look at you.
Yeah.
Like, make sure that they look at you as an equal.
Mm-hmm. I noticed that.
Wow, that is some in-depth conversation right there.
I know. And I was cracking up though, because I'm like, I don't know about the experience at like a big law firm, but I'm like, I'm sure that everyone in his position is just being treated not equally and very poorly. If you're the lowest person on the totem pole.
But I will say that conversation also stems from the fact that he's an immigrant.
Exactly. That's exactly, yeah.
I am an immigrant. I was born in the Philippines. I came here when I was 7. And I remember when we were younger, my family stopped speaking in our native language.
Oh, okay.
And this it was their fear of us being looked at as different or less than, I guess, because we're not from here.
Right.
Stuff like that. So I take that more as you are not from the United States.
Yeah.
They will never look at you really as one of them. So you have to like work twice as hard for them to get equally. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you're exactly right.
And that's why he was, and to think also sadly that his uncle thought being a baker was less than, or
I know. Yeah, because Maya didn't see it. She thought that like these are all equally, great careers, and you're talented at all of them. But yeah, for him and his experience, it's like, no, because I think Tio says at some point, I had to do this, but you could do something different.
But I am glad though that Alejandro went with his passion.
We all benefit from that.
He actually did start making his gingerbread cookies for different people and stuff like that. Before he started making the gingerbread cookies, his uncle was doing it, and he was the one who was getting the wishes fulfilled. So when Alejandro was doing it, he was like, "Oh, don't make a wish; it's not going to happen."
But they were coming true. Yeah,
they were. Some of the cookies that he made were a hockey for his coworker. He made a camera. He made a cat. He made a cat. He also made a bakery cookie.
Yes, for Jacques. And that came true too, just not like what he thought.
Yeah. And then Tio's last cookie that he made for somebody was a red briefcase for Maya. Which we find out late at the end of the movie. Her wish was to get her life together. And I'm like, dude, so fine.
Yeah, get in line.
We find out later that Alejandro is the one who has the red briefcase.
Right. That was a really cute twist, because I didn't expect it to like kind of tie in like that. So
here,
that was cool.
I like that call back to the beginning kind of thing.
Yeah.
But God, I knew Alejandro was the guy from the beginning.
Yeah, I hope he becomes a Hallmark regular because he was really great.
I will literally yes, please. I love Paul. I love Tyler. I love Andrew.
Yeah.
All the guys that we know so far, but add on Jon Ecker, please.
Yeah, he needs to be one of the regulars for sure.
We would very much appreciate that. Man, that guy is good looking.
Yeah.
His dad is actually a Brazilian actor who was part of the telenovela scene. So
he's got like telenovela looks. That makes sense.
I'm imagining William Levy sort of thing.
Yes.
So the looks came from his dad. So yes. Anyway, what would if you got a gingerbread cookie? What would you want to wish for? What would you? And then what would you wish for?
Okay. Oh my gosh, that's so hard. I feel like, I'm trying to think if I should be really like sincere or think of something like I might ask for a cookie in the shape of a new car, and then maybe some kind of new car would show up. But I feel like I'm supposed to say like a cute, house with like my happy family inside and everyone's safe and healthy. But, new car would be pretty nice too.
Like that, like a laptop shape.
Yeah, you need a laptop cookie.
Alejandro, can you come over and make me a laptop cookie?
Oh.
But anyway, and then the other thing that they did was the Christmas games, which
oh my gosh.
was so
it was so funny.
I am so glad I wasn't the only one who thought that, but they kept saying gingerbread course or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was like gingerbread.
I did too. Because he said he had to cook gingerbread for the obstacle course. And I was like, what is this?
I was thinking like a life-size.
Me too. That would have been fun, actually. I probably would have just stopped and taken off pieces and eaten my way through it. That would have been great.
But like, how do you get to the middle of the maze? Oh, just eat your way through the wall.
I just got like a cup of hot chocolate, just taking my time, and that would have been fun.
But that was fun though, because they just had to like complete the gingerbread house, decorate it, and whatever, and go down, bounce it up, whatever.
I was actually really impressed at Merrick. I was like, man, she just like climbed up that thing, bounced down. There's no way. I want to see the outtakes of that whole scene. Like, how many gingerbread houses did they have to make?
I had fun doing it.
Yeah,
too. That was so fun. But yeah, that was a good. I wish that they would have said gingerbread house obstacle course instead of gingerbread house.
Yeah.
What was going on through my head was not. What was going on through my head was not at all.
Same. That's exactly right.
I feel like false advertisement.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was so funny.
Anyway, how many stars would you give this movie?
Out of 5? I think I'd give it a solid 3. I felt like it was really fun to watch. I bet it's going to end up in the middle of the pack for me, is like, you know, for the rest of the season.
Yeah. I like this movie. I would probably give it 3.5. I think it was
for all the extra half is just Alejandro.
Yeah. He could nothing wrong. Alejandro definitely gives it up for the half, but also I like the comedy.
Yes, it was really, yeah.
And the banter between Merritt and Jon. I think I love the Mexican traditions that was thrown in. I hate the fact that they put an ad right then and what's going on.
Yeah.
But one thing that I said before when they've done sort of when they did South Beach Love, one thing I was very critical of was that they did this whole thing about quinceañeras without actually explaining the quinceañera. You know, what's the deal with the doll? What's the deal with the shoes? No kind of. With this movie, they actually explained what was going on with the Las Posadas. So you're not going there going, what the heck is going on? You know what I mean? So
it was I think that they're doing a better job so far in the Christmas movies of being more intentional about the cultures, not just trying to, like, you know, do surface level you know, lip service to it, just really trying to, like, this is a story about a like Mexican Christmas tradition. So difference between South Beach Love and this one as far as how they handled it, like night and day.
Oh yeah, they listened to my podcast where I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Tell us what's happening here. But yeah, if they didn't tell you what a last was,
it would be, you're like, what are they doing? And then you can't read what they're saying.
Exactly. You know, but because they tell you what it is, you're kind of in the dark as to what it means or the importance of it. You would just think that it's a caroling down the door. Right. Because they explained to you what it was, you're like, oh, okay.
You know, yeah.
So that I 100% appreciate, and that was so very much a positive comparison, like South Beach Love, which was just last month.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Okay, so now we are going to talk about movie number 2, which is going to be a tear fest.
No! I'm not ready.
Oh my God. Okay, so the movie number 2 is Debbie MacComber's Mrs. Miracle Christmas. I think this is the third of the Mrs. Miracle.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was third or fourth because Doris Roberts is in one with the first one, like James Van Der Beek. I know there's 2 of those, but I didn't know if there was a random third one in the mix.
Mrs. Miracle's Christmas stars Caitlin Doubleday, who plays Laurel. Steve plays Will. Paula Nash, I love her.
She was great.
And Carolyn Ray, who plays Mrs. Merkel, Gloria Merkel. But Caroline took over the role of Mrs. Miracle.
Doris, I think Doris Roberts. Yeah, she played her in that. Yeah.
I would go Doris Roberts from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yep.
Yeah. So like, she's hilarious. Love her.
She's so cute. Yeah.
Rest in peace.
I know. Yeah.
And from anybody who, several of the writer has said that Nina Wyman Swift has said that, you know, she was the one who Caroline was good friends with Doris. It was pay honor to Doris, but also put her own twist to it. Yeah. So I love this movie. I'm gonna cry though.
I know. Me too. I was kind of joking with everyone. Like I didn't know really what this movie was about. I knew I liked the other Mrs. Miracle. And so all of a sudden we get into it and I'm like, oh, I didn't prepare for this. I am not ready. I'm like, I kept having to remember to take notes because I was just so into what was happening on the screen. So.
Well, you and I are on two opposite ends of the foster care system, which this movie talks a lot about. Mm-hmm. You're a foster parent. I was a foster child. I lived with my foster parents, my parents, mm-hmm. for years, and mm-hmm. from when I was 11 to when I was 18, and wow. I lived in 3 foster homes. My 3rd foster home was my last foster home. But yeah, you are also a foster parent. How long have you been foster parent?
So we started fostering we took the classes in 2015, got our first placement August 2015, a boy who's 13 at the time. And then 5 months later, we got our other 2 placements, our boys who were 3 weeks and 2.5. But we adopted all 3 of them. So those were the only placements we had. So.
Well, first of all, thank you for adopting an older foster child. It's so hard to place old teens.
Well, yeah. Well, so I say we started the classes in April or May 2015. And we were open to, we didn't have any kids in our house. We had 2 dogs and we were just open to whatever kids, we didn't want to put any parameters on it. So we got called right away about a teen. So yeah.
They always have a hard time placing teens. I remember a lot of the teenagers that I saw who were in a foster care system, they ended up in group homes kind of mm-hmm. thing situation, not in actual family homes,
right?
Kind of, and stuff like that. And just before we get more into the foster care thing, this is an emotional one.
Okay.
This is a hard one because oh my god. Okay, so Laurel and Will, they're staying with Laurel's Nana. Mm-hmm. Nana has taken in Laurel twice, mm-hmm. I guess, in her lifetime. Once when she was younger and her dad abandoned her.
Yeah.
Talk about worst dad of the year.
I know. Gosh.
How it's how do you do that to a 6-year-old?
I know. Oof.
And then he was like, I didn't know how to take care of a 6-year-old after being. Well, yeah. Don't drop off your mother-in-law.
I know. Yeah.
And oh my god, I wanted to yank something at the TV when mm-hmm. he came and said that stuff. I mean, here's the thing. And then he went and remarried and had
a whole family.
What about his daughter that he left at 6 years old?
Yeah. I know. Some of his apology in the middle of that movie, I'm like, you're not quite hitting it. I feel like they got there, but I was like, oh boy, this is not good.
She was more forgiving than I would have been. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Because I'd have been you have a lot of apologizing.
Right.
Especially the way he was I didn't know how to raise a 6.5-year-old. I'm figure it out. You're a dad.
Yeah, exactly.
Number two, that sounds like you're blaming me for you not figuring.
Right. That's such a good point.
It's like gaslighting 101 anyway. Anyway, I seriously blame the dad for her like abandonment, loss issues, like whatever issues that came up. I'm like,
you could see like all the things that impacted her to get to why she was the way she was. Yeah.
We don't meet Will's family. So anyway, Laurel had dealt in infertility. They both tried IVF, which never worked. So they became foster parents. And the year before, because this happened, a child named Jonathan was placed in their home. He was a baby. That's when they also moved to Nana's house the second time. They were in the process of adopting when Jonathan's biological mom changed her mind and cleaned her act up together. Wanted her son back. And so ever since then, Laurel has kind of like, like, I don't want to foster anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. And Will is more open to signing up into foster care. But yeah. And then Nana, husband just passed away in August, right? In the summer.
Something recently,
Yeah. She had hurt her wrist. We don't know. I don't remember.
I don't remember how she did either.
Yeah. But anyway, part of Laurel and Will are, working professionals. We don't know what Will does, but Laurel's a teacher. And they need to find a caregiver kind of thing, an in-home caregiver for her to help Nana out and like, take her to places, the house, cook, etc. And so they go to Caring Heart Angels, which was an agency that Laurel's co-worker suggested. And Caring Heart Angels at first was like, no, we don't have anybody. But Mrs. Merkel, Gloria Merkel, comes, ringing the doorbell and saying that that's. So that's pretty much what happened in the movie. And Mrs. Merkel, I have to say, Nana and Mrs. Merkel's scenes are my favorite.
Yes, they were hilarious together. They were
when Nana called.
Yes, and she's like, the whole bit, she's like, she's snooping, and she's like, it's a spatula, I found it. That was so funny.
Laura was like, I'll do a background check on her and do an FBI or whatever. And Miss Merkel was like, I'm clean.
Yeah, just like totally unruffled, just happy-go-lucky. That was so funny. They were great.
That was so funny.
That was one of my favorites too.
It totally highlighted Caroline Ray's comedic timing.
Yes. I think I haven't seen the old ones in a while, but I feel like Caroline added a lot more comedy to the character. Because Doris's version of it, if I remember, is a little bit more grandmothery, and Caroline's is just. But anyways, she was great.
I love this. I love that scene was so funny.
Yeah.
She was wonderful. She's like, I'm gonna count silver before she leaves. She's like, you have 12.
So good. So funny.
Oh my goodness, it was awesome.
It was perfect.
I would have loved to ask Caroline if like any of that was ad-libbed or anything.
Oh, I know. I wonder if they let her, because she's like she's a comedian. She's probably had a lot of really funny instincts for that part.
Oh yeah. definitely. One of my, and also when Nana saw her car the first time, she's like, "That's my husband's car."
Yeah, and Gloria's like, "Oh, that's interesting. Like, it's not on purpose."
Yeah. But yes, anyway. But I did love seeing them Nana go from like skeptical, like, who's this person? I don't like you, kind of thing, to like, oh, we're gonna be singing and we're gonna
Well, I like that she always knew that Gloria wasn't like just a person that showed up. Like, she went from this person is up to something to like, this person is up to something and I'm on board with it.
Even knew she was an angel.
Yeah, like I just love that she was so keyed in, because Laurel and Will are like, okay, whatever, you can think whatever you want, but we're not. Even at the, well, maybe at the end they realized, but yeah, Nana knew right away.
Yeah. That storyline with the whole home caregiver, giving the sense of independence, but not, but also kind of, I understood on a personal level.
Yeah. Well, I like that, because Gloria kind of gave her the permission to do all the things she loved and hadn't felt like doing. And that was what got Nana kind of back to herself, which was really lovely.
Yeah. I love seeing Nana change.
Me too. Yeah. You really could see her evolution as a character over the movie. It was really cool.
But I did like skeptical Nana more.
I did too. Well, her character last year in 5 Star Christmas was hilarious. So that woman is just, I love her anytime she's in one of these.
I've seen her in several movies now. She was in a movie this year, but I forgot what movie that was. But she's so hilarious. Love her. And such a great actress. But that's Nana and Miss Merkel. The other, also we talked about Will and Laurel. I've never had to deal with infertility. You know, I choose not to have kids. That's not because I can't have kids. But I wonder, is that like guilt thing, you know, pretty common with people who have infertility issues? Because I feel like she had a lot of guilt with, like, I can't provide my husband what he really wants. You know what I mean?
I think so, and I'm sure it depends on the circumstances and of you know what exactly the issue is. But it seemed like for her, it was like she had reached her like limit and he hadn't, and so I felt like that was more where she was coming from. Like, I feel guilty because I can't go any further, and he was still open to it. But I'm sure that she felt it. Well,
I thought it was also more of his kids.
Yes, I think that's part of it too. Because I was thinking, but I'm sure that people, depending on, you know, if it's both people or one, that is a common feeling.
Yeah.
Because something's like wrong with you, you know, or something. So.
Yeah, that's why I have a huge issue with the idea that women are put on this earth to like procreate. I'm like, what does that try to say about women who can't?
Exactly. Yeah. If you feel like that's the one thing you're supposed to be doing, you could feel a ton of guilt. So I can't even hear people like talk about labor stories. So I'm glad I didn't have to go through that. So
I have never had kids. I don't ever want to have kids, but I do have to say though, I did growing up want a foster parent because my foster parents were so great. I was like, I want to do that for somebody else and stuff like that. But then I realized how hard it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Anyway, so that is, and then so like I said, Laurel and Will were foster parents at first, but they stopped being foster parents. So he actually, when the social worker suggested to him, why don't you be foster parent again, he was like, sure, sign us up, which was like, no, don't do that.
Yeah, right.
Why? That
right.
idea to do that, not tell you.
Well, and she just like stopped him on the street, and he's like, I had a lot of problems with that moment, because he's like, it was supposed to be this very dramatic moment, and he's like, sign us up for newborns, and I'm like, oh, okay, good job, Will. Like the least needed thing.
Or anything
yeah. Well, and Nancy's going, we have a huge need for foster parents right now because it's the holidays and all of that. And he's like, let me just get on the list for like the least needed thing. I'll do that much. Like,
I know. I know. They get me on that one either.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when Laurel gets a phone call from the social worker that husband's in foster parent, and we have a 6-week-old baby.
Yeah.
She's like, wait, what?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I know.
Yeah. I'm like, I wonder. Yeah. Like, what a way to find out. Like, Will just, it's one of those classic Hallmark things where they're like, well, I was trying to tell you, but not really that hard. So no wonder you had to find out this way.
No. Before, unless you talk to your wife. I mean, that was just like bad.
Yep. Big time. Yep.
Bad husband movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, so like they go through a separation, even though I wouldn't really call it separation. I would like go sleep in your best friend's house.
Yeah, I think it was just one night, because he makes this comment like he's done 5 tea parties in 12 hours. So I think it was just overnight.
He's fun with the boa and the hat.
I know.
Who do we have to talk to get him to do that more?
I know. I was dying. I was like, this. I feel like that's like every guy that gets roped into tea party has to go all the way. So
definitely. Does he have kids? Does Steve Ludd have?
I don't know. I haven't looked him up too much. I wonder if he does.
I love him. I love him in every movie.
Yeah, he's cute.
Oh my god, he's so good. I love him with Merritt. It's just my favorite co-star with him. Yeah. Anyway, Caitlin might be beating her though.
Yeah.
This movie is so great.
I know, she was really good. They all were really, really good.
Yeah. And so she comes back and like forgives him or whatever. So the candlelight mass. We find this is one of the students that Laurel was teaching. She finds out that night was a foster child that had been adopted. She was placed into the foster home like 6 years old or something like that. Yeah. The adoption just went through or whatever. And that's when the moms told Laurel and Will, hey, why don't you not just look for a newborn, but actually
older kids,
And they also had older foster kids as well that were placed into their home as well. So I want to talk about this because this really pissed me off. First of all, thank you, Hallmark, for like throwing in a lesbian couple without like actually warning people that there'll be a lesbian couple, because a lot of people that were on my page pissed off about that. Number one. No, and I like seeing them be pissed off, because I'm like, haha, you're truth tellers. Secondly, I saw somebody talking. I had someone comment to me about how gay people should not be able to adopt, and I'm going like, how horrible of a thought process you got to be that you would rather a child be in an orphanage, not living in the loving home, whatever, just because the people that are willing to adopt them are gay.
Right. It's sad.
Like,
yeah. When you think about the need of, there's so many kids that need homes, and sibling groups and older kids, like there's such a need for just people to love them. And some, we got called, one of our first calls was for a teen girl who had some like a history of like being abused, and my husband was going to be the one home with her most of the time, so we ended up having to say no, because we didn't want her to feel uncomfortable in our home. And so sometimes kids need to just be in a home with a mom, or not have it a male in the home or whatever. So
well, thank you for like about that. Yeah, so thank you for that. So you guys, if you don't be afraid of teenagers. Don't just look for newborns. Newborns are cute, they're adorable, they're sweet, whatever, but
they're hard. They're hard. Yeah.
Anyway, so finally at the end of the movie, the social worker calls back and Will and say, we have a 6-year-old girl whose parents just passed away. She doesn't have a home, she needs a new home, and the little girl's name is Kelly, which also was Laurel's mom's name. Talk about fate.
Yeah, no, I didn't cry at all at that scene.
And we're like, yes, we'll take her. All we need to do is go shopping for a bed.
Yeah, actually that was our experience with our 2 little boys. Like when we became foster parents, we got like a bunk bed, and we didn't know we got like teal everything, because we didn't know what if we'd get boys or girls. But when they called us about the little boys, I was like, okay, well, what kind of things does that age group need? So we didn't have the right kind of beds, we didn't have the right kind of equipment.
Cribs.
No, we were scrambling. So
well, when in my first foster home, they had to put a bed together for me because it was just like brand new kind of thing and stuff. I remember like the first day of me being at their place was us like
putting the bed together. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's so hard to like be a little bit prepared and then be like, okay, now I have the age and the kid in mind. Now I've got to scramble and get all the stuff for that person specifically.
Yeah. And all the foods too.
Yep.
Foods.
Yep. that was something when the weekend we got our oldest son, we just went to the grocery store with him and we're like, okay, let's get everything. And yeah.
It's weird how about you remember after all these years.
Yeah. That became our first night with our son, became like a tradition in our family. So we got, he said his favorite food was like, well, I think he said like all things Asian, but we had like Mongolian barbecue restaurants, where you like, so we went there for dinner and then got froyo. So that was like our thing every year.
Oh, for like the anniversary of like
yep.
What is
yeah.
this?
So it lined up really close to like his final adoption day too. So it kind of worked out to like celebrate it all.
Oh, that is so sweet. But yeah, so they went and get Kelly, and 3 years later, we meet Kelly. Like she's Asian.
Yeah, and actually, if she's supposed to be 9, I was like, man, she's the tallest 9-year-old girl I've ever seen.
I know, right?
Yeah,
but so adorable, and I guess adopted a second baby.
I know. Yeah, my husband actually stayed awake to watch this whole movie, and I was like, do you think they like had a biological kid or they just adopted another one? But yeah, because that one seemed like it might have he might have looked more like them, but I'm gonna guess that they adopted another one.
That's a great thing though, because you realize that if that baby was biologically theirs, they didn't treat him differently.
Exactly.
Kelly wasn't treated any differently.
Yep.
So
they were just a family.
Yeah, there's no distinction. How it's supposed to be. There's really no distinction between biological or adopted. And then me too. Yes,
and I love that they were all still in the house together. They all had matching pajamas. It was so cute.
Yeah. And Mrs. Merkel went to
the next house.
A single dad with
I was gonna say
like 2 babies in his arms.
I want to watch that movie because he looked like he needed some help. I would love to see that story.
Merkel,
yeah. Yeah.
Can we stop with the time for them to come home and go and
do more of these? Yes, exactly.
I know. I mean, like, it's just crazy. And I did not cry.
I know. I got close, but yeah, I was like trying to hold it in. Yeah.
How many stars do you give this one?
Oh, I think I'm going to give it 5 stars because I really loved it. I was and unexpectedly so, but I loved it.
I would probably also give it this one that many stars. I think this was like a perfect blend of comedy and drama and deep storyline.
Yeah.
Lightheartedness also. So you were crying the whole time, but you were also.
And I felt like, like I said, I was nervous at first that they would, they just wanted babies, and at the end that's what they would get. And I really liked that they took them on this journey of because I think that's true of a lot of people that get to the place of going, well, we could quote just adopt, and they look at the baby. They think so narrowly about, well, you start at the very beginning, right? And they went on this journey to go, no, this is the child that needs us, or this is the child that, came to our family, and we're open to that at the end. And it was, just a beautiful story for them.
Yeah.
So
just to help the family heal.
Yeah. So I ended up really liking how they portrayed being a foster parent and that journey.
Yeah, same here. I loved it. I hate crying.
Me too.
But definitely when Kelly came home and they talked about it, and they talked about everything. It was just like. But I do want to talk about Mercy. Did you think that Mercy was Miss Merkel's daughter?
Yes, that was one part of the story that I was like, so are they both dead now and they can work together? Because she was the receptionist, and then in the church when she's singing, Gloria is acknowledging her. So that's what I was thinking.
Also, she was the jewelry.
Yes, at the jewelry store. Yep. So she was. That's what I was thinking, is that Gloria and her reconnected after she died, and now they're both angels and working together. But yeah, that
would be a fun sequel too.
Yes, see them together and hear more about. Yes, I would like that.
Yeah, that was fun.
I wondered if this is based on an actual book, like a Mrs. Miracle book in the series, if they explain it.
There's a book with this title. I just don't know how far it has. I haven't read it, so I wouldn't know how far off the book is.
Right.
The movie is. I can tell you how far off South Beach Love is.
Well, exactly.
Yeah. But yes, I might want to read this just to see.
If there's this story, I definitely want to read the book.
I also would be terrified because the movie is so good. I would be terrified to read the book
and then be mad. Yeah.
But anyway, do you want to plug in your blog?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at Hallmarks the Spot, and then my blog where I do recaps of at least all the Christmas movies and a lot of the other ones throughout the year is hallmarksthespot.com.
Yep. And then November is National Epilepsy Month. I will be posting a link to epilepsy.com so you guys can donate to the cause or whatever. Also, again, we have a Facebook group that Callie is also in. Mm-hmm. We have fun.
I'm so glad you made it. It's such a good group.
I feel like it's a group that's needed because a lot of the Hallmark groups have stifled a lot of voices when it comes to diversity and stuff like that. So anyway, come join us on the Hallmark Movie Fans for Diversity group. I keep thinking about changing the name, but then when I think about changing it, I'm like, to what though? Yeah.
It's pretty clear what it is in the description. I think it's good.
But anyway, go join. I will also post the link in the bottom. Okay, so see you guys in a couple of days where Kayla will be back and we will be talking about Christmas Treasure and Next Top Christmas. Thanks, Callie, for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.